Oh. Yo, what up, what up, what up, Hillman family, Nick. We're finally in the same building.
I know.
One day only, right? So we decided to get this episode on and popping since you're in town. How are you? How was your trip?
Travel was good. Been up almost 20 hours or so. I'm mad tired, but I'm
Sheesh.
excited. I'm excited to be in the same space with you and watch you
Right.
blinking in and out of the camera. But I get
Right.
hype when I know that we're gonna record. So sleep doesn't matter, doesn't waver. If you look
Right,
away, they're
right,
gonna
right.
miss you and your purple. You're gonna blend in.
Yeah, today's been a day.
How are you? How do you feel?
It's been a long day, you know what I mean? But whatever. You
I
know,
mean,
you
it's a new
sleep,
day, technically.
sleep when you're gone, so whatever. Um,
I want to
it's
sleep with my
I'm
hair.
blessed, right? So it's all good. You know what I mean? I'd rather be busy than bored. So you know, so episode 11, man.
Episode 11. I've been waiting to talk about this episode with you. I probably watched this probably 3 times before I can get a good line for the episode, and I thought it was great. What was your take on the episode?
Um, I think it related right to a lot of my thoughts. Just in college in general, I always wondered if women thought the same way as guys. Right? Do they sit in circles, talk about men? When they do talk about men, what are they saying? Do they have aspects of, any of the same thoughts men have, right? And in this episode, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes, like they show that in some aspects they do, in some aspects they don't, right?
Okay, so for people who haven't seen the episode, on this episode, the women in the dorm kind of get together and they place a bet on Dwayne Wayne to see how he respond if an attractive woman hit on him. Right? That about covers
Right.
it?
Yep.
Okay.
That
So
covers
have you ever felt like a piece of meat in front of a woman?
it. I've had moments. Yeah, I've had moments.
Did you enjoy those moments?
Absolutely not. Um, Sometimes it's cute. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
think it's cool, but I think just like men, sometimes women go overboard. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not this over infatuation. Like if I'm chilling and I think you're cute or whatever, but it's not like, dang, you just bad as hell. Like I think there's moments of like, relax, chill, like.
Honestly, when the episode started, I mean, I was kind of excited to see how it was. I really was. I didn't think they were being disrespectful in the beginning. Just seeing how he would go, but then when the bets started coming in, I started tugging my conscience a little bit. I kind of felt like Denise, thinking that maybe he should be. They weren't. It was a little more than like, what is he gonna do? They were like cutting, like stabbing at his integrity as a man. I felt like.
I feel like just rewinding a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been with my homeboy and been like, "Yo, I'm gonna get her. Come on, let's talk." I never had that like talk um, prior to going to holler at somebody. Like I've always been a person that by the time I even talked to my boy about it, I done already did that. You know what I mean? I didn't already talk to her and everything, and I was
I
telling my
already
boy how it went.
talked to her. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
I
about
thought you
to.
meant like hit it.
No, I can't prep. I can't prep myself. I can't prep myself with my homeboy to go holler at somebody. Like
I'm
I
honestly
think,
surprised.
I think that's like it's kind of like you faking it. You know what I mean? Like I want anytime I talk to somebody, I want you to have the original me, the original
Okay.
thought.
Let's say
You
it's
know?
not you though. You gonna say you never been in a room where men talk about what they might do or how they gonna talk to
No, no,
somebody?
no. I think it's always a might. You know what I mean? Men always have those conversations, but not in real time with the woman. Like close enough to hear it. You know what I mean? Where she's kind of smirking, like, I think they like me. I think he likes me over here. Or somebody's coming over to come talk. I think it's more of a, like, me and my people, we not like that. Like, it's more like, hey, bro, I'll be right back. And they go do whatever they need to do, and then they'll come back and we'll talk about it. You know what I mean?
You make it seem like
But
your people are just so like on par
no, no,
with
no. I'm
righteousness.
not even gonna lie. A lot of times when men go holler at women in that retrospect, it's more than likely liquid courage. We done drank a little bit or whatever we may have did, and you just get more confident. So you gonna do what you need to do. I think naturally, I'm a type of person where I can do it regardless. That's just me. Like I could really be, but I also have a factor of I put this shield up because I don't like to be rejected. I don't take rejection well. So I have to put this shield up first that in my mind I'm already rejected. So whatever she say, whatever comes from it, it is what it is.
Okay, but this is kind of like a thin line between love and hate. I've seen so many movies where guys make a bet. There's a two can play that game. That was on both sides, guys and women. Guys make a bet like, hey, I bet I can smash. Or I bet I can get her phone number. I bet I can do this. You trying to say you ain't never been in a room and that type of conversation has happened before they talk to the girl.
No, I'm not saying that. But Dwayne and Ron... That was Ron. Ron's his best friend, right?
Ron's his best friend.
Yeah.
I think Ron would have enjoyed this whole scenario.
I think Ron and him, they didn't have a conversation of, like, I bet you could hit it. It was more
right,
like...
I'm saying the women were having a conversation.
They were like little kids. Like, they had this aura of little kids, and she was an older woman, like, yo, this is what we're going to do, and this is how you got to do it. And it was, like, giggly, and then she was just like, here we go. You know what I mean? So, and this is before the bet happened, right? This is before we got to the bet. It was two older women having a conversation of, like, two little kids.
That's not what happened. Like, that's not what happened.
With her and Jaleese.
They weren't talking about them, though. They were talking about some other guy that did her dirty, and then they came up.
No. Not in the cafeteria.
I'm talking about the library.
When they were in the library.
They weren't talking about Wayne.
She was talking about the Wayne.
She made one comment. They were talking about another guy.
Right. When he walked up to go.
She called him a guppy.
When she first walked up and they were having that conversation behind her, super loud, before she got to Jaleese. Right. Yes. She was giggling, or them two were giggling, or whatever it may be. And when she walked up to talk to Jaleesa, it was that quick conversation before Dwayne Wayne walked up.
So when she came to talk to Jaleesa, she was talking about her ex and how he did her dirty. She was saying, how are you? She says, you know that fool already got another woman? And she was like, yeah, men can be rough like that. Then it's like, oh, there's sharks, this kind of shark, that kind of shark. And then there's some guppies. And that's the only comment she said about them young people trying to holler at her. She wasn't talking about Dwayne.
You don't think she was talking about them talking about her trying to holler
when she said guppies, but that was at the very end of the conversation. She wasn't talking about them from jump. And she was already heard from, she was just got out of a relationship. So that also speaks to her whole attitude, the whole episode. I forgot about that. She had just got a relationship. She wasn't ready to talk to anybody. And they came up with lies anyway. They wasn't being genuine. He said, pick up these books and pretend like you're smart. I want her to think my friend is smart.
But the fact of the matter is, that's all I'm saying. I've never done that. Like, I've never been around anybody who's done that. Like, that must be like something from like the early 90s. I've never, like, let's prep this. Let's do this real quick so she could, hey, I need you to boost me up real quick.
So even in college, you've always been this smooth, quiet storm, Ray.
Yep.
That never needed a boost of confidence.
Nah. I've always been whatever it is, it's going to be whatever it's going to be.
Okay, well, we're talking to the general public.
Right.
And most people don't have all their smoothness at 16 and, live that out to their last days. Most people need a little boost.
Right. I can honestly say that I've never even had anybody come up to me like, yo, no, I'm lying. I've had friends in college, super hilarious. One of my friends was like, yo, you should call such and such over, and we could all kick it. You know what I mean? It was like so many people trying to holler at her. And it's so hilarious that everybody got shot down, right? And she ended up being one of my best friends. Like, it was super hilarious. That same night, I was like, I can see us being best friends, right? She was like, really? And best friends ever since. Like,
so you never been a wingman?
It always starts that way. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what that conversation is.
No, I'm one of those people that I've been a wingman when there's two women. You know what I mean? But it never ends that way. Like, it's always like a wingman is supposed to be like a distraction, right? It's supposed to be like, let me get the friend away real quick or whatever, blah blah blah. I'm not one to take one for the team. I don't do that.
How are you not gonna take one for the team?
I don't. If she's
what
not,
type of friend are you that
if
you can't
she's
take one
not
for the
attractive, you are on your own. you better make sure both friends look good because I'm not that guy. You're not
You
gonna
trying to
have.
say you never dated somebody ugly? Because I can think.
Nah, I've never had
Okay,
somebody that
world.
was like, I'm telling y'all, Hillman family, listen. I have never walked with my boy and looked and she didn't look good, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna take one. It is what it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I dated a lot of unattractive people back in my youth.
No,
I dated people for their personalities, for their hearts. So I didn't date attractive people
I gotta
until
see
later
you.
in
I,
life.
I gotta see you before you talk. So if I see you, and I was such a like a jerk when I was like younger because
Was a jerk?
I would say stuff like
Was past tense?
past tense because I don't say it like I did when I was in college. Like when I was in college, if she was ugly, I would say, oh hell no, I would say it just like that, and they'd be like, Ray, come on, chill, Ray, come on. No, I'm not doing, bro. I'm not doing that. Be on your own. I'm not doing that. I'm out. Yeah, really, right? All right, ladies. It was nice meeting y'all. I'm about to keep it pushing. That was me. You know what I mean? I think Friends was a little bit more genuine back in the '90s. They just have to take that. They Friends in the '90s. There was only one girl, and that'd be the wingman. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Make you look good. Nah, I'm not doing that. Like, what are we doing right now? You can't go out on your own.
Okay, so in this situation, you couldn't see yourself being a Dwayne or a Ron in this situation.
I can be the Dwayne. I'm not being Ron. There ain't no way. There's only one girl. Good
But
luck,
you
bro.
love
Do your
Ron.
thing. Who loves Ron?
You said you like Ron.
I think Ron is cool. First of all, Ron's light skinned. I like Dwayne Wayne. Dwayne Wayne is my guy.
Okay, so you're Dwayne. You're in a situation, and Peggy's hot, right? She's 2 years your senior, and you're going to hit on her, but you don't need nobody. You're going to just walk up and shoot your shot.
Shoot my shot. We're going to see if it goes in or if it's an air ball. Let's see how it works.
So do you think Peggy was wrong for just seeing how it goes in a situation?
No, I think
The whole bet?
I think the bet was cool. To be honest, I think the bet was cool because sometimes you do got to be humble. You know what I mean? I think Dwayne Wayne, the ladies' man of the campus or whatever you want to call it, you know, karma is whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
You think he learned something from it though?
I think he was humble. I think he was humbled by it. I think they were right. Like when it was like, he gonna get real nervous and he ain't gonna know what to do. He did. He got real nervous. You know what I mean? And he got so nervous that she felt bad.
Okay, but was he nervous because he didn't know what to do with a beautiful person, or was he nervous because he really cared about her? Because when he was talking to Denise, it wasn't like she was just any other babe on campus. He was like, I really like this girl.
I think he was nervous because she was a hot older chick. I think
you don't think he really liked her?
I know you can do that too. You can like somebody and they're hot.
No, I'm just saying they thought he was gonna be nervous because he wouldn't know what to do with the attractive woman.
I don't think he knew what to do. I didn't think he knew what to do with her.
I don't think he knew what to do with anybody, but she was slightly different.
Because she was like, I'm gonna play some music. He was like, I like music. Like it was just like he was real. Like all the smoothness went out the window when he got alone. I think a lot of his smoothness is built on the crowd. I think he's a sociable person, so he can say whatever he needs to say. Hey, ladies, what's up? I got some fries and I got and that's for the people. Because when he got alone with her, when he got alone with her specifically was way different because he didn't act that way when he was alone with Denise.
I was just about to say that. When
they were doing the study date situation when he was the tutor.
Yeah.
He was still the regular.
Even at like Christmas, he was really regular.
I think Denise is his age. I think it's different.
They're the same age.
But when you get an older woman, it's a little bit like what I'm about to do with this grown woman.
I think he liked her too, though. I think his feelings were hurt.
What I'm saying is you can do both.
I feel you. I feel like in the episode,
I think it could be both in that situation because even when she kissed him, it was like he got his first kiss. Like he was like, ooh. And put his feet up, you know what I mean?
Maybe was his first kiss.
I'm a man now. You know what I mean? Like that type of situation. Maybe. Who knows? You know
but he was ready to walk away. We talk about like morals, and you always talk about how Denise has like a good compass, right? So he went to his best friend, and he was like, I'm not doing this. He went to his best friend. He went to Ron, and he says, Ron, this is what's happening. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a piece of meat. I don't want to do this. And Ron was like, nah, man, it might start off that way, but shoot your shot. Do you think that was good advice?
I think it was absolutely good advice. I was like, you never, like, you miss every shot you don't take.
This is true.
So I'm like, go for it, bro. What's the worst that can happen? The bet is already out there. Your name already out there. Go. See what's up.
Okay, so what if it was reversed? What if it was men making a bet on a woman? Do you think she should have just shot her shot and went for it? Do you think a man would even have the conscience to stop?
I think if it was men versus women, she would have never found out. Men versus women, ain't no dude be like, yo, I just want you to know we all made a bet on you, and like, no.
So you wouldn't tell her? You wouldn't be that person that had that good moral code?
Absolutely not. 'Cause I'm not doing that.
So brotherhood is thicker than sisterhoods?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. That's like saying none of your friends. I'm trying to think of a guy in your circle. I feel like Brandon.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't think.
I wasn't going to say Jabari.
I'm gonna be honest. Men are more loyal to each other than women. Absolutely, 1,000%.
Absolutely, but y'all have female friends. A lot of y'all have close female friends.
Right, and those female friends don't like other women.
But Denise was close to Dwayne. They were friends.
Yeah, but she's also has a lot of women friends that she was like, guys, we can't do this. Come on, guys. She was trying to convince them.
So you're saying nobody in your circle would say
nobody
would say, hey,
yo, fellas,
we shouldn't do this?
Nah, fellas, we can't do that. I'm not betting on what. Nah, it'll be like, bet it up.
Not one man would have said that. That's crazy. My thing is, have men do it.
Now, when I tell you not one, unless that was that man's sister, that ain't happening. Like, men are just gonna be like, they either not gonna bet, they still not gonna say nothing, or they gonna bet, and they gonna bet it up. What up?
So if men were betting on women, and that woman had to come to this man's house on a bet, I think that we wouldn't, I don't know if we'd be talking about it like this.
No, I think it would have been a done deal. Like, it would have been either somebody won or somebody lost. But she wouldn't have found out. The only way she would have known is if one of the men in the circle was pillow talking with one of the chicks. But none of the men were talking to any of them chicks.
But the chick told on herself when Willie's little friend said it.
Right.
That's the reason how you really found out.
Denise,
he didn't believe Denise.
If I was on that couch, first of all, we would have skipped a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? And then because it would have been like, man, we gotta get to the nitty gritty. Like, it would have been on some stuff, like, especially if you already know she's head over heels, like, you know you could get it. You know what I mean? That type of situation. It would have, for men, it wouldn't have been, the music already would have been playing. You know what I mean? It would have been, let me get some music real quick. Let's set the mood. Like, no, the mood would have been set. She would have walked into the Lions Den. Like, it would have been.
That's because women have consciences. That's what the episode showed. All the way through from beginning to end, we have consciences.
No, I think what it showed is women are disloyal. Denise clearly,
but not just. But Denise Peggy
clearly
too.
didn't. Denise didn't care about what her friends were talking about.
Peggy cared. She stopped and she said, "I can't go through with this."
Every instance, let me look at this. Every instance, Denise, she went, and they said you better not tell either. She told, right? Whitley told old girl she better not bet. Both of them went and bet. You know what I mean? Then what? Maggie was like, I think she had cold feet. Like, she already knew what it was. I can feel it. I think she got cold feet, right? Mm-hmm. And old girl got cold feet. Like, while she was in there, she wasn't even loyal to the group.
Okay, so what I heard you say was Denise said it was wrong, and she did not jump off the bridge with everybody else. She stood her ground.
No.
She said it was wrong.
She said it was wrong, but she betrayed her friends by telling.
I'm not going to pull myself down in hell with the rest of y'all. If I feel like something's wrong, I'm going to speak my truth, and she did. She spoke her truth, and she spoke it to Dwayne, and she didn't even want to.
Why would you not speak your truth to your friend?
She did speak her truth to
her
friend.
And keep it pushing.
Because that wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough because women are not.
So female friends are more important than her male friends? They're both her friends. They're equal.
It don't work like that.
That's how it works. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And she spoke on that. Nope, let's get through this. So I'm not going to speak on Whitley and the other girl because that's how their relationship is built. Whitley that's not really her friend. Whitley, that's like her assistant, her maid. Doesn't matter. Maggie, what I heard you say was Maggie knew she was doing something wrong and she owned up to doing something wrong. And then she gave him a favor and hung out with him the next day anyway.
No, that was that. Isn't Maggie
Maggie's the older woman.
No, I thought it was Peggy.
Oh, Peggy.
Yeah, Maggie's the roommate.
Yeah, Maggie always speaks her truth no matter where she is. So she was consistent all the way through. I don't think that Maggie has ever been disloyal to anybody. So both Peggy and Denise both had morals and they expressed them. And I think they should get points for that. Being honest. You shouldn't get cool points for being a liar.
No, I think you should get cool points for being loyal to your friends. You know what I mean? And
How
I feel
does her
like
girlfriends outweigh her guy friend?
because
He helped her pass her class. They're real good friends. And he got her through her hard times with the little sister. That's her friend. That's one of her closest friends. Her closest guy friend for sure.
no. Dwayne's tried to smash on several
He tried
occasions.
to smash everybody.
Right,
but they're
right.
real good friends.
You're telling me that if you knew a chick was trying to smash your man every 2 seconds, but he shot her down and they're just friends, you're gonna trust that?
Trying to smash my man. Who am I in this situation? Am I Denise?
No. In the situation, you're in the situation, you're another friend. So say if you had a man and you knew that there was a girl that he was friends with that tried to smash off on a regular basis, would you? And he's like, we're just friends. He shoot it down every 2 seconds. Would you trust that other friend? Would you trust his girlfriend?
I probably wouldn't trust Denise, but he's been single this whole time. So.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
I feel you. You put your point. I still think that they're friends.
They're cool based on her shooting him down. That's it. They're cool based on
what is there to cover?
Right. So I think in that instance, I just think it is in my opinion.
In your opinion.
I think that if it was reversed, the girls would have never known. And in that instance, there was too many people that they were that's low key messy. It might seem like morals, but it's low key messy. If she was like, "Hey, you better not tell," like,
but the bet itself isn't messy.
The bet itself is just
what?
It was a point to be proven.
It's a point to be proven
because some of them said, "I bet you he'd fold," and it was like, "I'll take that bet off rip." Some had confidence in Dwayne, some didn't. You know what I mean? But in that instance,
so should just let it play out.
I think they should have let it play out because he wasn't going. I think in the end, you know what I mean. It would have been harmless because she didn't really want him anyway, right?
I can't even see that happening on TV nowadays. Them betting on a woman like that, like if the roles were reversed, I can't even see that happening on TV now. Can you recall later incidents where this might have happened?
Later incident as far as what?
Like, I mean, just like in the 80s and the 90s, we had movies like the ones I mentioned. I can't think of something.
In college, it wasn't I'm not going to say nobody ever bet on smashing in college, but it was more like, I bet you can't get the number. I bet you can't pull her. Like, I bet you you can't snatch her up. It didn't get as vulgar as, I bet you don't hit it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't really like that. It was more...
As a woman, I would think that's how y'all talk all the time. Until you're not saying it just now.
No.
In my head, I think men only think about smashing.
No. It's more like... Because you got to think.
I got emotions.
When we were in college, it wasn't really like... it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think society was sexualized openly as much. You know what I mean? Like, it was out there. You know what I mean? But after that, like, especially out here in Atlanta, after that whole Ray&Nich situation, all that stuff like that, It was like, it's not like we didn't have Instagram like that. You know what I mean? It was brand new. You know what I mean? Facebook, my freshman year of college, you had to have a college email just to have Facebook.
Yeah, I was a freshman when Facebook came out.
Right. So it's more like, like social media makes it more sexualized. You know what I mean? We weren't seeing girls in bathing suits.
They didn't have social media back then.
They didn't.
Sexualized.
But he didn't. No, he wasn't. He didn't say, you gonna go to the apartment, you gonna hit it. You know what I mean? It was more like, yo, it might be a bet right now, but you could still pull her. You could switch, and you're Dwayne Wayne. That could be your girl. Like, it was being your girl was like the thing. You know what I mean? But when we were in college, it was more like, I bet you can't pull her. Mm-hmm. You gotta think the first iPhone came out in what, 2008?
Oh, I don't know.
Something like that. Like, we weren't FaceTiming. We were still literally pulling the number. It wasn't like, yo, what's your Instagram?
It was, let me write it on your hand.
Yeah, like, it was like that type of, it was that type of swag. You know what I mean? So, when we was in college,
that's a good point. I hadn't thought about
it was more of a, like, let me pull her. She's bad. Like, I want her. You know what I mean? It was more than that than, bet you can't hit it. Like, it wasn't that vulgar. You know what I mean?
Get back to that. Let's get back to the times where it wasn't all about their bodies and what they could do with them, where it was about connections, right?
About connections. Like, I think social media has ruined people's thought process of communicating. Social media has ruined socializing. You know what I mean?
Ain't
So
that crazy?
it's like by the time I get to you, I already have a judgment of how women are based on social media. By the time women get to men, the men have already been dogged out. Like it's like I've already categorized the type of man that I have to be based on social media.
So you meet a woman today. How do you connect with her later?
I think it's based on conversation and face to face.
No, I'm saying like y'all meet, y'all in the library, whatever. How do y'all connect later? Do you give her your number? How do you?
Yeah, I think I'm I would be more inclined to get the number, um, FaceTime. So I know you ain't got no fucking man at home. You know what I mean? So I know you're not out here. And then the same with me. So you know that I'm actually single. FaceTime me while I'm like, hey, it's
At
nine
random
thirty.
hours,
What are
yeah.
you up to? Hey, I'm about to get ready for bed. Hey, I'm gonna FaceTime you real quick. You know what I mean? So you know that I ain't hopping in the bed with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I think social media allows that to be okay. Like city boys and city girls. You know what I mean?
I'm
Social
not sure
media
what city boy, city girl is.
like a city girl, like having a hot girl summer. Like
Oh,
be
okay.
like it's okay to be a player these days. Like Cardi B and all of them, they've made it okay for women to act like men. And people like Lil Duval and on them allow it okay for men to continue to be like men. You know what I mean? Instead of like the divorce rate is
Ugh,
ridiculous these days.
trash.
You know what I mean? But it's based on social media. That stick it through mentality. Social media makes it okay to reset. You know what I mean? There's a million people out there because you have access to a million people on your phone.
Yeah.
So
These younger generations, though, I've seen my child, little sisters, and honorary little sisters. They hand out their handles. And Gabrielle will look at someone's handle on their Instagram and decide if she wants to talk to them or not. If she don't like
see,
what their Instagram got going on, she won't
I
return their
think that's
call.
wild.
And
Dwayne
personally, if I
Wayne.
don't like a person, I'll take their number. If I like them, I'll give them mine.
See, a Dwayne Wayne would be a dog these days. Going to the dorm hollering at every chick, like legit, you cannot go from these days. I couldn't holler at you and get shot down and turn around
And
and
holler
holler
at
at
somebody else.
somebody else. They're gonna gang up so fast. Dwayne Wayne has that habit.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go to the movies? Dwayne, I'm not going to the movies. Hey, girl, you like da-da-da-da? It's like these days they'll be like, look at this. First of all, they'll pull out their phones, they'll record this man, and he'll be viral. You are a dog,
and somebody's gonna want that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. One man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I mean?
Somebody.
That's the thing.
Okay. Anything else you want to hit on before we give out the homework?
Nah, I think it was a good episode, y'all. Watch it.
I enjoyed it. For sure.
Watch it twice. You know what I mean? I think watching it the second time, you find stuff that you didn't see the first time.
Honestly, what we didn't say live was the whole how the episode ended, how we saw different endings. I kind of want to watch it again just to see if I can see a different trail. Because hearing you as a man talk about what you see, I mean, it was really a woman-led episode. So I saw everything they saw the way they saw it. So I was interested to see what your take on it. So I'm gonna probably watch it again.
The one take I can say is women as the hunters is weird. I don't.
So should women not shoot their shots?
I think they should to an extent. I think someone showing interest is cool, right? But I think actually being like the prey is awkward for a man. Like,
yeah,
I don't hunt me. You know what I mean?
That's a good point because when Denise called that guy back on another episode, she wasn't treating him like the prey. Yeah. She was still what's the opposite of prey? She was still
she wasn't treating she was treating him still as if he was kind of like the hunter.
Right. He was still the predator.
He was a
predator. She was still the prey. But when she came and sat and like planned the date and do all that stuff, she was very aggressive. Right. I know a little bit of something about being aggressive. So, so she was really aggressive.
Yeah, be like, yo, calm down.
I don't want that. I want to be led. And me, I know you don't get this aggressive energy, but I would like to be led. Lead me to the water.
I think it's more, there's alpha males and there's betas, right? And it's weird because it seems like betas want an alpha, right? And
beta what men?
Like beta women want an alpha male, right? And alpha women want an alpha male. It's like the beta man has to it's like a rare It's rare when you find some alpha women that's like, just give me a beta man that's not gonna bother me, gonna listen to what I tell him to do and keep it pushing. Mm-hmm. Right? Because the average alpha woman that gets a beta male, they get bored. They keep it pushing. Like the sense of adventure is not there because he's a beta. He's gonna do whatever you tell him to do. It doesn't matter. Sometimes people want.
Some people like that.
Some people want the adventure. Like, tell me to shut up and sit down. Like, when are you gonna man up? Like, it's like, I don't know. That's for another episode, another conversation, right?
Okay, so the homework this week. Have you ever been turned down by someone? Have you ever turned somebody down, and what did you learn from that experience? Or you can tell us about a time when you caught feelings from someone that was older than you. Which one you want to tell us about?
I can tell you that I don't like to shoot people down, right?
Okay.
So what I typically do is I kind of, you know what I mean? I kind of laugh it off a little bit. You know, like, very stupid. And kind of keep it pushing, right? Unless you just are overboard. I would flat out tell you, like, I've done that before. I've been like, listen, I ain't what you want. I'm not what you think I am. Like, it ain't that. You know what I mean? But I also been on the other end where I've been shot down. That's gonna hurt when you really like somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I've asked somebody out and they've been like, women are way harsher than men when it comes to shoot down. Women would be like, no. Like, I'm talking about, they'll flat out. Like, it's not a, listen, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really think that'll work out. It'd be like, hey, I want to take you out sometime. No. It'd be like, ooh, sheesh.
When I was in college, I dated two guys at the same time. I'm a really honest person. So I went to the school. I dated two guys at the same time. We all were friends. They knew about each other. We were at lunch, and one guy would ask me for lunch. The other guy asked me for dinner. I dated them both, kicking it. When I decided who I wanted to be with, I let one of them go, and I picked this one guy. I was head over heels for him, as much as you could be in college. And he ended up breaking up with me. And the next chick that he dated after me, he ended up marrying her. They're still married to this day. And I'm okay with it. Because I would not have been satisfied in that relationship. I think they are adorable and super cute. But I had never been, like, dumped before. It was weird. He was, like, coming to my job, bringing me flowers. He was really trying to get at me. So much so that I cut the other guy loose. And as soon as I gave in to him, he was like, yeah, we're not compatible.
You know, sometimes
it's a chase sometimes, too.
I feel like sometimes you might have a good girl, right? Mm-hmm. And she with somebody. And she's like, listen, I like you, but I'm with somebody. And their morals will not allow them to holler at you, right? Mm-hmm. So you just gotta, you know what I mean? Not telling you to wait around forever, but go do your thing. And if that happen to not work out, then you go shoot your shot and it may work out. Now you know you got a girl that is loyal to the T. You know what I mean? If I steal you from somebody, it ain't gonna work. I say that real because I know you're a cheater.
But I wasn't a cheater.
You were.
I was not. When you were dating, you were allowed to date more than one person. We were not in a relationship. Neither one of them were my boyfriends. They were both interested. I verbally expressed that I was single, and I talked to both of them in front of each other. How do you consider that cheating? I wasn't committed to either one of them. We weren't doing anything physical. We were just getting to know each other.
Hillman family, make sure y'all look into
for real. That's dating.
Hillman family, look into the homework. Please answer. Do your homework. Please do. Holla at us on social media. You know what I mean?
Hashtag Hillman Homework.
Right. And let us know your experiences. We are not going to get into what is dating, what is night, and what is a relationship.
Let us know. I want to know your definition. Before we go, let me share my favorite line. All right, my favorite line of this episode. Let me pull it up for you. Okay. Dwayne was in the gym, and Sinbad came in, and he was like, you know what's going on with you? And he was giving some advice. And the coach told him, just talk to this woman like she's a regular person. Just talk to her like she's a regular person. That was the line that came to mind. There was another line in the thing, but that's what I was going with. So what I learned from that was Ray has told us time and time again that he's always been this cool. He's always had this quiet storm mentality. He's just known his sexy and confidence was on 10, right? So he talks to everyone in the same way, and if he don't, mock and cuss, but if he don't, kick it with you, he don't kick it with you, right? So sometimes it's not okay to sugarcoat it. Like, just be honest and straightforward in the beginning. That's what I got from the line.
Got to, right?
Yeah.
And so my song, right?
Let's hear it.
My song for this episode is it's a classic. It is Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it, right? Check if you don't know it, you know what I mean, because of the younger crowd and all that. Check it out. It was released in 1984. It's a classic. It became a movie.
Yeah.
Right? What's love got to do with it? Look it up. I think it's perfect for this episode. Right?
What love got to do with it?
What's love got to do with it?
I appreciate it. It's a good song. I like it. Right, a lot of songs you could have picked, but I like it.
A lot of songs you
I like it a lot. All right, so before we go, please remember words have power, so make yours count.
Right, and like a good beat, keep the vibe going and let the music play.
Peace.